and welcome to my channel, Emma Jane's Garden. Today I'm going to be making some bouquets or market bouquets for my local farm shop. So these are entirely different to a hand-tied bouquet. There's no spiraling involved, although I automatically always spiral because it's so ingrained into me to spiral it now to make big blousy bouquets. So these are market bouquets, so basically it's stem counts. But at the moment I am about a month behind where I was last year, so I haven't got the amount of flowers that I was hoping to have by this time. So I haven't got that many, so we're only taking 3 or 4 bouquets into the farm shop today. But I thought, why not take you and I'll show you a lot what I'm doing, take you along for the ride. I've got a range of flowers here. Like I said, some of them I haven't got loads of, purely because of being so far behind. I got my seeds in, normally I do a February sowing, I didn't do it until March, so I was a month behind anyway. And then I had some failed seeds due to compost issues. I don't know what happened, but a lot of things didn't come up, so I had to sow again. So that put me mid-March, and then I sowed again end of March. So I'll have a lot come towards the end of the summer, but normally by end of June I've got quite a lot of flowers. And this year it's limited pickings, but they are still beautiful. So things that I've got things like this, which is a beautiful phlox. This is a phlox that is a perennial, sorry, I couldn't think what it was then. So this is a perennial phlox. So this one with the dark eye always comes up first in my garden. I've got this beautiful verbena. I absolutely love verbena, brilliant. I've got loads of this, which is feverfew, loads of this. Again, that I sowed that last year and it flowered for me beautifully. I left it in the ground and it's come back bigger and better this year. So I'm thinking maybe to do some, I need to sow some now, we're in the beginning of July, and maybe I'll sow some now, ready for next year. I have put some more in the ground earlier on, so I'm keeping a succession because I don't know whether this will come back for a third year or not. I'm not sure. I've got some gorgeous scabious. Let me see those. Pretty they are. So these are the ones, if you've watched any of my other videos, that I left in the ground over winter last year, and they resprouted. So all of the ones I planted in the spring didn't come up, so I ended up having to order them in as plug plants, and they are only just starting to take off now. So these are the ones I left in that I sowed last February, and they came back through the winter. Not all of them, I've got to say, not all of the plants made it, just some, but this is some of them. I've got my first lot of cornflowers because I decided I didn't like cornflowers last year because they were really annoying, and then I missed them. So I put some in. So this is a late sowing, so these didn't go in until sort of late April. I don't think I planted these, so they're just starting to flower now, which is why I've not got many. I've got a few stocks. Now these I did plant back in early March, but they've all come up as singles, and I couldn't tell the difference between the singles and the doubles when they were seedlings. I know you're meant to be able to tell the difference from the colour, but I couldn't, and everything apart from 1 or 2 stems has come up as single, which are pretty and they smell just as good, but they're not, they're just not as pretty, I don't think. Then we've got some Achillea or yarrow. I haven't got a lot of this because I cut a load for a bouquet that I did the other day, so I haven't got a lot left, so this is just a few pickings. This is a really good cut and come again sort of perennial, basically. But I do find that they fade every year, they seem to get paler, so I try and sow every year so that I get the bright colours again. And then I've got my, this beautiful, which actually I think looks nice in a bunch on its own, is Alchemilla mollis rather. I call it Molly for short. I love her. A bunch of that in a vase, I think it's lovely. Oh, and I have a calendula hiding in there as well. some larkspur. Again, my larkspur completely failed on me this year, so I've hardly got any. This is actually one that self-seeded itself in my polytunnel, and it's the only one I've got at the moment. I'm a bit sad because I absolutely love it. So unfortunately my video stopped videoing, so I'm just going to go back over some of the things that you may have missed. So what I had in my bucket, I was just showing you the larkspur. And then what I have also got are some lovely dahlias here. So, oh, they're all tangled. So I've got these gorgeous white ones. I think they are called, I can't remember what they're called. They're not snowflakes, something else. And this one's called Jumanji. I can't remember what she's called. This gorgeous peachy orange colour. Absolutely love those. So I'm going to pop them in. I've also got a lovely yellow one, which I've already put in the bouquet because I was making the bouquet, made the bouquet, and then realised that I wasn't recording anymore. Really annoying. So I've also got mint in here, which is like a garden mint, and it's I've got lots of other mints, but for today I'm just going to use this general garden mint. And the reason I'm putting mint in is because sometimes the people don't like the smell of the feverfew. It's got a bit of a smell that I mean, I don't mind it, but some people say it's not great, but it does look beautiful. That's why I don't put a lot of feverfew in my bouquets, although one big bunch of feverfew to me looks absolutely stunning, but to other people don't like it so much. So I always put mint in. It smells lovely. Give it a bit of a crush and it smells lovely, and it does hide up the smells of the feverfew. But I like to put other things in, like the phlox here. That's got a lovely smell as well. So as long as you put something that's fragrant in as well, then you'll be okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is, this is the bouquet that I made, this one. So and this is a market bouquet, and we're going to make another one of those. So I started with some feverfew. Now the feverfew is not behaving and is completely tangled, so you've got to be careful about pulling it, because that happens. So I don't waste anything here. Nothing goes in the bin. It all goes on my compost and is then used for compost to feed my flowers over the winter. So anything that gets damaged or broken, although it's a shame, it is used again. Okay, if I can get, it's really not behaving today. Okay, any good bits in here? No, not bad. So the reason I've got these really big stems of feverfew is I had a bed of feverfew which I needed to cut back, and I took the whole lot out last night, so I've got loads of it. It's not that great. Some of it isn't brilliant, so won't be making it into bouquets. Oh, that's a lovely piece. Now, the only thing I didn't do, because I was cutting so much of it, is I normally strip everything over at my plot. And stripping just means taking the lower leaves off, so any of the lower leaves that are going to be in water, because they go like this, and then they just make the water go bad, and then the flowers don't last. But with feverfew, I suggest you take the leaves off every stem, which is why feverfew can be a bit of a pain, because they just wilt really quickly and they don't look very attractive at all. But the flowers do last well in a vase. It's the leaves that make them look like they're not going to. As I said, I would have done this at the plot normally, but didn't have time last night. I was in a bit of a rush to try and get them all cut. So we're going to start with these three, I think. Oh, we didn't do these ones. Let's just do these quickly. So what I normally do for a market bouquet, I apologise, I've just done this whole video and then realised it wasn't recording, so I'm having to start again. So I lie all my flowers out in front of me, so I've got this lovely verbena, I've got the Alchemilla mollis, I've got everything just laid out in front of me just to make it a lot easier for when you're doing your bunches, so you can just grab as you go rather than keeping it in a bucket. I used to make the mistake of always keeping my flowers in a bucket thinking they need to be in water all the time, and actually everything gets tangled and stuck, and then you find bits of flower that you thought, oh, I would put that in, and they're right at the bottom and they've got ruined. So I would suggest doing it this way. So I'm going to have some of these, and then I'm going to choose. Now the verbena, it's really branchy at the moment because it's just, this is my new flush, and it always comes up with these branches. These are the main stems. So once you take the main stem out, it's almost like pinching. The smaller stems will then come, which are these stems, which are way easier to do things with, which are these ones here. You can see they branch. But if you cut the main stem off, you'll find you'll get lots of easier plants. So what I'm going to do is take off these two here, but I won't waste them because they will be perfect for a jam jar posy, or I will put them in a little jam jar and keep them at home. So I'm going to put 3 of these in. As I said, they're all quite branchy. I've got lots of these little 3. And again, these are not a hand tie, so I'm not going to be arranging as such, although I do like to make them look beautiful. It's almost down to stem counts rather than what it looks like, because people just, this is for something for people to go home and arrange themselves at home. I'm going to be putting that in. Now the only problem with at the moment is I've got lots of 1s and 2s of things because of being so late in the season. Because I'm late, was late planting a lot of things. I'm about a month behind. So that's how it's looking at the moment. I'm going to put in some of this lovely phlox. I do love the phlox, so pretty. I've got lots of different types of phlox. This is always the first one to come out, this one with the little eye. Always the first. Let's pop you there. Look, see, I'm arranging. I can't help myself. And then, what did I put in this one? And then what we do is, the Molly, this is my favourite filler of all times. And I am in the process of doing a video on my top fillers of all time, which will be going out in the next couple of days as well. So that will be one of those. So this just brings everything together really, really nicely and just fills it out, makes it look beautiful. Again, make sure any leaves that are going to be at your binding point, which is here, and below, are all stripped, because otherwise, while they're sitting there in the shop or wherever you've got them, they'll be making the water go manky, and especially if they're in a farm shop or something where they're busy, they don't have time to change the water, not like I would if they were here at home. So that's the bunch there. And then we're going to add in, just for a little bit extra value, I'm going to add a couple of the dahlias possibly. Put 1 in this one, and I had the stock in that one as well, but I only had 1 stock, so I've put her in. And you just have to think, the dahlias are your focal flowers. So at the moment this is mainly fillers, so for my farm shop bouquets I do sell a lot of bunches that are mainly filler with 1 or 2 focal flowers in, because I can't get the money that I would selling an actual bouquet. A bouquet would have a lot more focals than fillers, whereas my market bouquets have more filler than focal. And these I sell for £10. So these are my £10 bouquets. So I'm going to put some of this in as well. Yeah, that's looking good. And then we're going to put some mint in, a bit of extra smell. So my market bouquets are all £10. I'm here over obviously in the UK. I'm in Cornwall, and that's my price cap really for what I can sell things for. Obviously people in the other parts of the country, if you're in the UK, you could get more for your market bouquets, or you may get less, depends on where you are. But I find £10 is good. Early in the season, when I've got Sweet Williams and things, I do sell some at £6.50, but they are single flowers, so it's just Sweet William, maybe a bit of Sweet Rocket, so they're single flower bunches. So I sell them at £6.50. They're easier to cut because I'm literally cutting one flower. I'm not having to walk all the way around looking for things, and it's literally stem count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever of those in a bunch, tie it together, and they're done. These are my £10 market bouquets. Perfect. Right, just going to wrap. And I always use raffia or brown garden string for wrapping. For tying off. And as you can see, there's not a lot of foliage in it. These are the sort of bunches that people can add to when they're at home, if they'd like to. And then snipping off the ends. And that's another one. So that's 2 lovely bunches there. I'm actually going to take these out for a minute. So that's 2 of my beautiful bunches. So that's the market bouquets done. I'm going to quickly whip up a couple more out of what I've got here. And if you're interested in how I wrap the market bouquets, please check out the link here. And if you want to see another video on making market bouquets, I did do one last year as well, and the link's here too. Please like and subscribe, press the bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.